I'm back from Ghent to my very first DLC, and I took Darkwing to the very peak of competitive play. How did I perform, and how's my weekend in general? Let's dive in this edition of XMarksTheLore. Avast me hearties, and welcome to another installment of XMarksTheLore with your main man with a plan, not the expert Nichols. I hope you are all doing well, and if you went to the Disney Lorcana Challenge in Ghent, I hope you had a fantastic weekend, because my lord, I did. It was incredible. This video is going to be going over my entire weekend experience. If you want to jump to specific parts of a video, especially if you just want to know the match breakdown of all the matches that I had when I competed on my tournament day, just have a look down there. There'll be timestamps. You can flick straight to that if you so wish. I know some of you guys just want to get to the nitty and gritty. I highly respect it. But before we get into the nitty and gritty, I just want to talk about Ghent for a moment, because my god, it was my second ever time in Belgium. The first time I've ever been to Belgium was when I docked there during the Disney cruise last year, but this time we actually went into Belgium itself. First time going to Brussels through the Eurostar, going to Ghent. My lord, what a beautiful city you guys have. It is an amazing place, so picturesque, so beautiful, so many places I wanted to dive into, which I just simply did not have the time to dive into. So much culture and history that I wanted to dive into as well, so I may have to organise a personal holiday to go to Ghent and explore it a bit more. And if anyone's out there, if anyone wants me to do it, let me know, because heck, we might as well play some Lorcana while we're at it, right? As much as I want to talk about the city, the main thing I want to talk about is the DLC itself. It's my first time ever going to a Disney Lorcana Challenge in any capacity, and wow, such a fun time and such a fun experience. I didn't participate in a lot of the side events that were going on, and there were side events going on every single day, all over the place, from big core constructed and infinity tournaments, to pack rushes, to casual tournament, tag team tournaments. There was so much going on, and you could pick and choose whatever you wanted to do. There was on-demand stuff that was going on as well. Literally, when you go to one of these, you could just do whatever you want, and you could spend all the money in the world participating in all the events you want to, or you could spend little to no money doing a couple of events that you really fancy, or even none of the events, and just vibe, just chill with people. There's plenty of seating, there's plenty of tables available when people aren't competing at these tournaments, so even if you just want to sit down and have casual games with people, you can do this. It was so good. I really enjoyed my time there. It was fantastic. And of course, your boys signed up. We actually competed at the weekend, so got my hands on the promo Pegasus. Look at him. The lighting's going to be a bit naff, so I'm going to have to hold him at a bit of an angle. But he is a very gorgeous boy. Love that I got my hand on this Pegasus. And there's a special person out there that is going to be getting this Pegasus. Sorry, it's not a giveaway or anything. I may have promised the person that I was going to give this to them. They thought it was a joke, but I wasn't joking. They are going to get this. You know who you are. This little baby is going to be yours very, very soon, I'm sure. And of course, as we're competing, we get the lanyard and everything's good to go. Also, one of my favorite things that we actually did on the first day of the event, when you go in, there's a fan zone area where you can do a bunch of bits in the fan zone. And one of the things that they did involved these badges. And these badges represent, as you can see, all the different colours of the inks in Lorcana. And the main gist is that you got so many badges of one of these colours, and you had to trade with people until you got the full set of them. And it was so much fun to do. So many people just going, who has amber? Who has emerald? Give me your steel! Crazy people doing crazy things. But that was amazing as well. Very, very big shout out to anyone and everyone I traded with on the day. But the Friday was fine. It was really, really chill, and we're going to skip past Friday because not a lot happened. We're going to go straight into Saturday, because Saturday was when I competed, and that's what you're here for. You're here for the full breakdown. How did my Sapphire and Steel Darkwing deck perform at Ghent? We're going to go through this match by match, because, oh boy, we had some fun. So round one of the day, nice and early in the morning, we went against Dan Plays. And if you wonder why I'm looking down, by the way, I have everything up on my phone to remind me, don't at me. I had a one-on-one against Dan Plays for round one, and he was playing Blurple, which immediately starts me off on a fantastic foot. God, I think out of all my testing, Blurple was just the hardest matchup, which makes sense. Blurple is a tough matchup for any decent deck out there, really. And Dan's such a great guy, straight from Florida, I believe, as well, with his wife, which was absolutely amazing. Shout out for Dan. I believe I did take a photo with him, so that'll be up on screen as well as we're talking about this. But that was a really fun game. It seemed as if, during that game, I just seemed to have all the answers at the right time, and nothing was coming out for Dan exactly when he wanted him. Not to say that he didn't have some great plays. There were some fantastic plays for counteracting whatever I wanted to do. Looking at you, Sven, you cheeky reindeer, you. But overall, was a brilliant first round, and your boy came out with a 2-0 win against Blurple. What a way to start the day when Darkwing takes out a Blurple deck. That felt awesome. Shout out to Dan for the games. Hope you had a fantastic weekend, and thank you very much for the photo and all of that jazz. Also, then we got to round two. Blurple again. Oh, God. So round two, we were against Blurple again, and this time I was against a player by the name of KWB. It was nice playing with you, dude, and if you're watching this, howdy hi, hope you had a fantastic weekend, and thank you very much for the games. So we were against Blurple back-to-back. Joy. But this one went in the complete opposite direction, where in the first game it just seemed as if the deck just wasn't coming out with what it needed at the right times. This was the complete opposite. Every single control option you could ask for came out at the appropriate time. Hades did Hades things, Elsa did Elsa things, Demona did Demona things, and it was very tough. But I did push Blurple to its absolute limits through the power of Darkwing detectives and not freaking slowing down. Your boy pushed Blurple as hard as he could, but sadly, that was a loss. It was a 2-0 loss to Blurple, but you know what? It's my toughest matchup. I knew it was going to be my toughest matchup. I'd have to play my hardest, and thinking about the game and looking back at how I performed, I don't think I could have performed any better than how I performed against Blurple in that second round. It felt like a really good game. It was a really nice matchup. Shout out to KWB for the amazing game. And it was really crazy as well because it was his first major tournament involving Winterspell. So whenever I was playing any cards involving Darkwing, he didn't actually know any of them. So he spent half his time reading my cards, which is absolutely fine. One of the main caveats that I want to take from my entire tournament experience, it seemed as if everyone I went against just really enjoyed going against Darkwing, and that for me is a personal victory, so I loved that so much. Game number 3. This was the maddest game I had all weekend long. Not just was it hilarious as me as a wrestling fan sitting on table 619 that immediately made me think of Rey Mysterio, which was freaking amazing. I was also playing against another Darkwing deck. 2,000 players in a major DLC tournament, and I get matched up with another Darkwing player at the tournament. I don't know whether this is rigged or it was meant to happen, but you know what? It was probably my most fun game of the entire day. That was so brilliant. 2 completely different Darkwing builds of that as well. Different cards being used, and different techs, counter techs against each other. Really, really fun time. So I gotta love round 3. It's a personal favorite. And yes, at table 619, I was with Madden. Shout out to Madden out there. It was fantastic playing alongside you. Thank you for the photo as well. And the really fun games. It was back and forth. I had a win, he had a win. It came down to our final game, and the final game was pretty darn madness, because it literally came down to the wire, and it also came down to who could top deck the best out of the 2 of us. Sadly, it was not me. Madden took the victory at a 2-1 win, but that was incredible. A Darkwing mirror match in DLC Ghent. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Shout out to Madden yet again. Brilliant round 3. I had 1 win and 2 losses. It can't get any worse, right?
Oh, cruel irony!
Well, I said it wasn't going to get worse, but luckily, my next game, it wasn't Blurple, it wasn't a Darkwing mirror, it was Amethyst and Steel. And I've been training a lot against Amethyst and Steel. I felt ready for Amethyst and Steel. I knew what they bring to the table, and I felt really good going into that matchup. My deck, however, did the one thing that I absolutely detested. Both games that I played, my deck... I think the best way to explain it is to use a Phineas and Ferb reference.
It's fun.
It was the game of bricking, ladies and gentlemen. Both games, Game 1 and Game 2, my deck bricked the living daylights out of me. I had to mulligan anywhere between 5 to 7 cards. Still didn't have 1-drops or a phenomenal curve. I had to counterplay Amethyst and Steel, and guess what? Because I wasn't getting the stuff I would probably need at the right times, I got absolutely crapped on. It was the most embarrassing matchup I could have had with Darkwing, but we still had fun, because it was hilarious seeing how hardly bricked my deck was. It was absolutely insane. Oh god. And after playing that game, I've come to realize that apparently the guys that I went to Ghent with believed that the guy I was up against is my German doppelganger. So maybe it was a mirror match the whole time, if you want to count doppelgangers in. But there you go. It was a really fun game regardless. That game was against Stefan Klassmann. So thank you very much, Stefan. Congratulations on your win. Hope you had a fantastic weekend after that round. And I'm very sorry, but my deck just decided to absolutely brick. But we both had fun, and that's what mattered.
It's fun.
4 games down, 1 win, 3 losses. It didn't look good for me, but you know what? At this moment in time, it's key to note. But when I went into DLC, I just wanted to win once at this major tournament. I wasn't expecting to have a huge amount of wins, knowing what the meta was going to be like. I was going to be satisfied with just 1 victory. I got my 1 victory at DLC Ghent. If I lost all my other games, as long as I would have fun playing them, I wouldn't be too bummed. So far, we're losing a lot of games. 3 in a row. Typical. Our next game was against yet another Blurple deck. What is it about Blurple that hates me?
Why?
So I went against another Blurple deck, this time going against a lovely French player by the name of MXR Netty. It was nice meeting you, Netty. Nice playing against you. And also very nice playing against French cards and just seeing some of the text and names that the French cards have. This also was a highlight of my weekend. Seeing alternate language cards that have characters that I've been used to for absolute years, named in ways that I have never seen them be named before, which was absolutely hilarious, but brilliant at the same time. Had a lovely match back and forth between Netty. I actually bricked yet again. Round 1 was a huge brick against Blurple. I just had nothing. Typical, I know. But at least with Game 2, the deck seemed to sort itself out. I was battling against Blurple to the best of my abilities, again, pushing Blurple to its limits, but sadly, couldn't quite get the job done. Netty had the great victory there, 2-0 against Darkwing. Blurple beat me again. I have a huge distaste with Blurple after playing against it 3 times at 1 major tournament. My god. But again, you can't help it. I bricked, and in Game 2, it was much better, and I couldn't have played any better. Shout out to Netty again. Fantastic games. And I want to mention this. This is a hilarious moment. There was a moment where I knew that I had no chance of winning. My hand was crazy bad. I'm looking up the board, and I literally look at Netty, and I just go, now what's the French word I'm looking for in this situation? Oh yes. Merde. I'm not going to put the translation up on screen because I don't want to get demonetized, but if you're French, you know exactly what word I'm saying. Then we move to round 6, another Amethyst and Steel, this time against Chris. But not just any Chris, ladies and gentlemen, because this is where I get to talk about a really nice experience that I had. So round 6, I go against Chris, lovely man from Germany. It was fantastic playing against him, having some lovely banter with him as well when playing the game. And it was Darkwing versus Amethyst and Steel, but he wore a very cool shirt, and the shirt said Brothers in Law with The lore being L-O-R-E, as in Lorcana. Woo! I really enjoyed the name. I thought the name was great. But that wasn't the first member of Brothers-in-Law that I met. He was with a group of other guys, and they all went under the name of Brothers-in-Law. And I met one of them earlier on that recognized me from my videos, and we took a photo together, and he signed my mat, which was brilliant. So I already knew about the brother-in-law guys before we had the game, and then I played against one of the brother-in-law guys, and that was really fun. Really great experience, lovely meeting all of you guys. And now I realize I have quite a lot of people that follow me from Germany, which is awesome. So, guten Tag, my fellow German Lorcana players. And I hope I said that right. And maybe I have to try and do an entire video or an entire sentence in German in one of my videos in the future as a mini challenge. If I should do that, let me know in the comments, because I'll try it. I'll do very bad, but I'll try it. The game against Chris, like I said, very lovely. Great banter between the both of us, both having a laugh. It was a very good back and forth between Amethyst and Steel. But guess what? After that huge amount of losing streaks, me thinking, you know what? If I end up losing again, it's not the worst thing. I've got my win. It was against Blurple. I'm fine. Your boy did it, ladies and gentlemen! 2-0 victory versus Amethyst and Steel. That was so much fun. It was a big pressure game. I think I also had, don't know if it was another member of Brothers-in-Law that tuned into the game, or if it was a judge, but wow, we had people watching us. It was a fantastic game in the end. Really, really fun times. Huge shout out to you, Chris, and the other members of Brothers-in-Law from Germany. I hope you guys had a fantastic weekend in general. Thank you so much. But your boy was up! 2 wins with Darkwing at DLC Ghent. Let's go! Just before round 6, it was obvious I wasn't going to make it to day 2. You needed 6 victories to get to guaranteed entry into day 2. 5 victories in order to guarantee the Mulan promo that you can only get from the DLCs. Sadly, this guaranteed that I wouldn't be getting the Mulan and I wouldn't be moving to day 2. But you know what? Still having fantastic fun games regardless. It was a great time. Thank you again. So I knew I wasn't moving to day 2. I knew I wasn't going to get the Mulan, but with only a couple of rounds left, I thought, you know what? Let's just see what we can do. Can Darkwing get my other 2 wins and we make this a 4-4 split through DLC again? That would make my weekend. The next game shows up and it's round 7 against Nubius. And I need to break this down. This is probably the hardest game I had all weekend long. Picture the scene. I arrive at my table, sit down, get everything organized, get everything out. I'm shuffling my deck ready, and it just happens. 10 minutes into the game, I'm looking at my opponent, and out of nowhere, I win because my opponent was just an empty chair. Yeah, my opponent no-showed round 7, so your boy got a free win. Say what you will, say that, you didn't earn your win in round 7, but you know what? A victory's a victory. This is DLC. I'm going to take that win. Darkwing won a 3rd game at DLC Ghent. I'm going to take it. So, 3 wins, 4 losses, 1 round left to go, and that's round 8. So here we go, round number 8, last game of the day, and I went to table 5-5-2. And who was I going up against at table 5-5-2? It was none other than Team Peg's Azurite 60. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Azurite. Let me know if you watch my stuff, and then I can amend that in the future, because it was still a great game with you. And he recognized me from my videos as well, and there was a fun story before we even began. Apparently, he looked at the name of who he was going against, and he was with his sister, and thought to himself, there's no way that's the guy. There's no way that is the guy. Just simply goes to his seat, sits down, gets everything set up. I show up, I start talking, and he's like, oh my god, it is the guy! Which was awesome. That was a cool moment as well. Shout out to you, dude. Really fun game. Darkwing versus Amber Ruby. And with a really quirky Amber Ruby deck of this that used boost mechanics. Definitely took advantage of the boost Bambi. But you know what happened, boys and girls? We took that deck on, and Darkwing saw that Bambi and smacked it out of existence again and again and again. Your boy, 2-0 victory in round 8 versus Amber Ruby. Shout out to you, Avarice, and thank you very much for the games in general. And thank you for the photo, signing my mat and all that jazz also. It was very, very kind of you. And that was it. After that final game in round 8, the score was in. Darkwing Duck, the Exploder at DLC Ghent went 4-4, which was incredible. I was only expecting to get 1 victory at Ghent, and you know what? 1 victory at Ghent would have been it for me. I would have loved it. I would have said that I've been to my first DLC, I got a victory at my first DLC, I got a victory against Blurple. I'm happy with that alone amongst anything else. The fact I went 4-4 at my very first DLC with a Darkwing deck is pure brilliance. Wow. I'm really chuffed with the performance of the deck overall, and it was a really fun weekend. Cannot thank everyone enough. Went against and everyone out there. It was wow. And where did I place in the rankings for that day? So I didn't check this until I was coming home, and I'm going to get it up on my phone to remind me. So, out of over 2,000 players, I wasn't quite maxed out at 2,048. I think some people had to drop out or forgot to register. I'm not too sure what happened. But over 2,000 players competed on the Saturday. My placement, ladies and gentlemen, was 968th. I am in the top 1,000 players of DLC Ghent. Your boy made it. Darkwing made it to the top 1,000 of DLC Ghent. That is an achievement I wasn't even expecting to claim, but I will claim it, I will take it, and I will run with it as my new personal best for DLCs and tournaments in general. Holy wow! So if you want to see the actual Darkwing list and have me fully break down the Darkwing list in a video like this in the future, let me know in the comments and I will gladly go over that deck with you. That deck is also inspired by the Lorcana Pro player RMB, which if he does end up watching this, hello RMB, thank you very much for your original list. I altered it ever so slightly because there were elements of the deck that I just felt weren't as good as I wanted it to be. I only really changed 2 cards from RMB's main list. But if you do want me to go over my own list in a video, fully breaking it down and explaining combos for you, I gladly will. Let me know in the comments and I can get that worked on. But that was the tournament. That was my weekend. The rest of the time was really, really fun. But here, I need to do something special. The one thing that made this weekend for me, and I apologize because I might get emotional when saying this in this video, meeting you guys probably was just the most magical moment ever. From the first day I was there on Thursday. And this is bearing in mind, I went there every day in this hat so that I could stand out. And I was constantly updating my socials, saying that I had my hat on, showing that I had my hat on, doing little videos here, there, and everywhere. Just trying to let people know that I'm still here and on the roam, and you're more than happy to approach me and all that jazz. You guys approached me in droves. So many of you recognized me. So many of you were just so happy to meet me, shook my hand, and gave me some lovely words of encouragement. But I can't put into words how much that means to me. And the thing that hits me the most, I'm sorry, I am going to get emotional in this video. I promised I wasn't, and it's too hard, damn it. The thing that got to me the most is that almost every single one of you that met me, shook my hand, gave me really lovely words of encouragement. Every single one of you told me to never give up. Every single one of you told me that you genuinely love my content, my voice. If you genuinely want me to be a caster in the future and hopefully cast a future DLC, which, don't get me wrong, that is a mission of mine. That is genuinely a mission of mine to achieve. The kind words you guys had, the beautiful matchups we had, I can't put into words how much that all means to me. You guys made my weekend. Each and every one of you. I don't care whether it was just a simple, hey, I know you, let me shake your hand and say thank you, or whether we stood around, had some back and forth banter. I wasn't expecting it. I thought, if anything, maybe 1 or 2 people would recognize me. So many of you ended up recognizing me. I thank the hat for doing half the work, I guess. Genuinely, you guys are awesome. I can't put into words how meaningful this weekend has been as a content creator, as someone who's worked his ass off for years just to make content and hope that people enjoy it and get entertainment and education and just value from the content I put out there. But wow, you guys are great. Wow. Thank you guys so much for making my weekend, because genuinely you actually did. And on top of that, I need to also point out a couple of other things that did happen. So this isn't the copy of it, but one of you that I did meet got me a foil copy of Darkwing and gave it to me on the very last day. I forget your name, sadly, and I feel so bad for it. But if you're watching this video, just know that that foil Darkwing has replaced this Darkwing, and I will be playing with that foil Darkwing for the remainder of Winterspell and at my set championships. So thank you very much for that. That was a gift I was never expecting in any capacity. The other awesome person that I met, which was an awesome person that I've connected with through my content originally on TikTok, and then actually meeting them in person, was the Inky Hour, or quite frankly, just Inky. I ended up meeting her, and I got one of her custom art prints of Yzma with one of her Inky stickers. So Inky, thank you so much. It was a pleasure meeting you in person. You're so bubbly, you're so lovely. It was awesome meeting you and your entire family at that. And may I just say, your Mirabelle Madrigal cosplay, being your very first cosplay that you've ever done, you absolutely killed it. It was beautiful, you look beautiful in it, and you're such a beautiful soul. Keep doing what you're doing. It was wonderful meeting you, and I hope to see you again down the road in the future, wherever that may be. And that was it. My time in Ghent was amazing. DLC Ghent itself was amazing. You guys are amazing. I think it's a good time to just round up the video. But as I'm rounding things up, I need to do some shout outs for the last bit of this video. Huge shout out to the guys that I went down with. The Inkblots from Bedfordshire, which is where I live. That is Fraser, Russell, Michael, and they who do not wish to be involved in this video, which is completely fine, but you know who you are. You guys made the weekend for me, the apartment that we stayed at, the fun times that we had at the restaurants, the rum bar. Oh my god, we found a rum bar in Ghent, and yes, I'm a guy that has a pirate-themed Lorcana channel that wears a pirate hat that loves rum. I was just fully embracing my inner pirate boy, okay? I'm allowed to. All the fun times we all had, it wouldn't have been as fun if it wasn't for you guys. Love you all to pieces, and I hope to see you guys at my locals on Thursday. Huge shout out to all the people that did come up and shake my hand and meet me in person, whether I had a photo with you, or whether I played a game with you, or I didn't. It was just brilliant to have people recognize me, shake my hand, wish me well, wish that I become a content caster in the future for future DLCs and or other Lorcana events like a CCQ. You guys are incredible. The community that we have, it's great. And you guys signed my mat, which is a quick thing that I would just want to show off at the end of the video. I don't know how it's going to show up on screen because the lighting's going to be a bit weird. But you guys signed my mat. I've got quite a few signatures, messages, all that jazz on here. And you guys have made this very, very special for me. I'm going to be framing this bad boy and having it hung somewhere in my flat for all to see. And this is going to be a memory that is going to last me until, well, the end of days. Simple as. So shout out to you guys for making my weekend that extra bit special. Shout out to Ravensburger for obviously running the DLC, which was absolutely incredible. Shout out to the casting team because I did meet Ross and Jen from the casting team. Jen, who I already knew from the Content Creator Set Championships back from Whispers in the Wells. It was lovely catching up with Jen yet again, meeting up with Ross, and letting them know that I have a dream to become a caster in the future also, which they both wished me the best of luck for. So who knows, I could be co-casting with one of them in the future.
Please, 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 please.
But with all the shout-outs being done, all the updates being done, and me being done, it's time to rest, relax, and get back on it with our other XMarksTheLore content. I'm hoping to go to other DLCs and events in the future when I'm able to, more so when I can afford it, because your boy definitely can't keep affording that again and again and again. I just simply don't make enough money, which is a fact of life. But even though this is my first, this will certainly not be my last, so keep an eye out for whenever I'm going to be going to another event in the future. It could be any event out there, and if you see me with this pirate hat, you know what to do. But as for now, I hope to see you guys next time in the next Lorcana video. If you enjoyed things today and you want to tune into even more Lorcana action, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. Let me know your experience of DLC Ghent or any of the other DLCs you've been to down in the comment section below. Go into the description, hook me up on all the other socials everywhere else so you don't miss out on any other explosive action. And I'll be seeing you next time for yet another XMarksTheLore. Shee-hoo! Oh, I love you guys. Now, where's my rum?